Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest. The William Pace Show, asking the questions you want to ask, getting the answers everyone wants to know. It's a new season of the William Pace Show. We're raising the bar with more commitment to educate, inform, encourage, inspire, empower, and help you have your best life. Everyone deserves to have their best life. I'm just staying the course. Here we go.
Good evening, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning us in tonight. My guest is Don Black, publisher and editor of the Dayton Weekly News. Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure, Bill.
How long has the Dayton Weekly News been in existence?
Well, this year the Dayton Weekly News is celebrating its 5th year.
5th year.
We were founded in 1993.
And over the last 5 years, tell me, what have been some of the challenges?
Well, of course, the challenges, is changing the mindset, I guess you'd say, of people in the community. Over the years, they've had many African-American newspapers, and I think our newspaper has so far been the most consistent. Mm-hmm. And you're sort of changing the mindset and making people understand that we're here to stay and that there's a need for a publication of this nature.
Mm-hmm. Why did you start the newspaper?
Well, you know, I've been an entrepreneur in the Dayton area for 28 years this October. And over the years, I've been involved in several projects, but primarily it all centered around communications. And during those years, as a photographer in the community, as a public relations consultant, and working with media throughout the community, I saw more and more that there was a need for a different image or a different voice within the African American community, primarily print. Of course, we've got black radio, we've got a black television station, but I felt that there was a need for people to see in a more lengthy view, which is what print is, mm-hmm. Something that tells a little different message of what is happening on a day-to-day and weekly basis within the African American community. So based on that, we thought that the community was ready again to look at a African-American based newspaper.
And what is that different message that's being told?
I think we all can verify the fact that within mainline media, that sometimes the real crust of what African-Americans are about is somewhat left out. I think there's a somewhat of a slanted view many times of our community. Many people look at the African-American community as a community that's basically laced with violence and unemployment and uneducation and all kinds of things. But I don't think that's true. I think there's a multiplex of individuals and families and people within the community who are doing positive things, who are doing progressive things. And the community is not something that is a 30-second soundbite on the 6 o'clock news that leads to talking about the latest shooting or the latest violent act. So I feel that this newspaper gives a different view of the community, at least gives people a chance to see things that they would normally not see in the daily paper or in the local television or radio.
And who are the viewers, or the readers, rather? Who are the readers?
Well, you know, we have a circulation that that reaches nearly 40,000 readers each week, and when we look at our census tract, our circulation tracts, we have readers throughout the community. We have readers in Centerville and Kettering and Xenia and Inglewood and, of course, Dayton proper and Trotwood. We have readers that come from pretty much throughout the metroplex of the Dayton region, and we're very proud of that. And we're constantly looking for other people and more readers who are interested in seeing another view of the African American community. Because regardless of whether you're African American or not, this is a major base within the community. Over 40,000, over 40% of the community is African American. And so it's a community that can't be ignored. So whether you live in Centerville or Inglewood, it's a community that everybody wants to know what they're doing and what they're about.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
And what are some of the stories that you're covering?
Well, we cover almost everything. Bill, if you open up the Dayton Weekly News, you'll see, of course, a front page. You'll see an editorial page where we have contributors from on a national basis, like the head of the Urban League, or Manny Marable, who is in over 250 papers nationally each week, or we may have a letter to the editor or a guest writer for that week. We also have a national page, which we talk about national and international news that we feel is important to the African American community. We also have local news. That's the base of what we do is local news. Things that are happening that the daily paper may touch on, but we expand on. And of course, we feel that it's very important that the African American community have a view of a broad spectrum of its base, and so we have a health section, which talks about preventive health medicines and preventive health care. The educational section, which talks about what young people are doing in the community and things that are important educationally in the community. Then we have a sports section, of course, because a lot of people, of course, are interested in sports and things of that nature. Entertainment, things that are coming up. You've appeared in the paper many times, and many other entertainers that are not only locally but nationally. So we try to give in the Dayton Weekly News each Thursday a wide view of things that people are interested in reading about. And I think we do a pretty good job at it.
Let's talk a little bit about your background. You started years ago in public relations?
Well, not really. I started back in 1970. I'm currently in my 28th year of entrepreneurship in Dayton. And in that time, I started with a photographic studio. My background is communications, but for the photography is how I really got into business. And over the years, I evolved down through photography into marketing and communications, what I majored in school. And in 1977, even though we still had the studio going, we started a public relations and marketing agency, Multi-Western, which is still in existence today. And we worked with clients really across the country, from Maine to California, really, at various times. So in 1993, as an extension of that, we saw the need that this community needed a newspaper that would lend itself toward the view of the African American community, and the MWC Publishing was founded at that time, which is the parent company to the Dayton Weekly News.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, what can we do to instill more self-esteem into the black youth of today?
Well, I think one of the things black youth need is role models. And when I say that, I don't say that very loosely, because I remember I've heard athletes talk in terms of the fact that they weren't necessarily role models, and it wasn't important for them to be role models. But I think it's very important that young black youth see other people in the community doing things, like yourself, and like I think I am, and others. I think the best role model in the world is a person who shows through example. Mm-hmm. And I think if they see more entrepreneurs, they see more people attempting to capitalize on the great wealth of America through entrepreneurship and business, that's the greatest role model they can be. And of course, the primary role model, in my opinion, comes from within the home, the parent, the father and the mother, and then the extended families, the grandparents and uncles and aunts and school teachers and ministers and people that they come in contact with on a day-to-day basis. Because as great as Michael Jordan is a gentleman who most of the kids I know will never meet. So it's kind of hard for him to be a role model to someone that they'll never meet. But there are people that they meet every day, that they see every day, that they have contact with every day, who could be role models to them if they would allow them to be, and if they would be accessible to them.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, more and more today, there are more people in television and in motion pictures that black youth can look up to. I remember, you know, in my youth, there weren't a lot, but there were a few, but there are even more today.
On every end. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, in the media, you see there are not only people in front of the camera, but people behind the camera directing, and camera operators and engineers, as well as on-air personalities. There are blacks in just about every phase of media today, nationally, locally, regionally. So there are all kinds of, I have young people call me weekly, wanting to know how they can get into journalism and how they can get into the media. And I direct them in all kinds of different directions, many times to people that I know who are functioning in those various areas, because there are all kinds of ways to do things, but you have to sometimes know the buttons to push. Mm-hmm. And I think it's up to us as community people to help our young people find the buttons that they can push.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
Do you think that racism is alive and well in today's time?
Oh, most definitely so. I think very few people could argue the fact that racism is alive and well, simply because the American psyche was based on inequality, as you say. From George Washington to Thomas Jefferson, because of the fact that the black man and woman was not seen as a full citizen of this country. And it's sort of carried on down. It's been hard to throw off the shackles of racism in America because people have not yet decided that they want to deal with the issue of racism. I had the privilege of meeting a gentleman last week who wrote a book called They Stole It, But You Must Return It. It's a book that chronicles slavery and how slavery has intertwined itself with our day-to-day lives, why we do the things we do, why so many things are happening to us that seem to be a perpetual kind of motion that continually goes on and on. And one of the things that made me think, and that is that, and one of the things that he brought out is that that racism has not been dealt with in America. It's not had it really looked at in its true form, and there has never been a real concerted effort. The closest thing we've come has been, I think, the initiative that President Clinton has initiated, and that is the Race Council, the Race Board, to look at racism in America. And I'm not sure if they've had a chance to really be clear about much of what racism is as it relates to the American psyche. So to answer your question, yes, racism is very much alive in America.
Okay. More with Don Black when we return. Stay with us.
To write to the William Pace Show, write to P.O. Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio, 45401. If your letter is chosen to be read on the air, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show.
Celebrate your birthday on the William Pace Show. Send your name, birth date, and photograph to the William Pace Show, Post Office Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio, 45401.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
Hello, I'm William Pace, and we're back with Don Black, and we're talking about racism in America today. Don Black is the publisher and editor of Dayton Weekly. And before we went to break, we were talking about racism, whether it's still alive and well in America today. And you believe it is?
Oh, most definitely so. I think we've seen it's never left America. I mean, it's never left America, but at various intervals, I think we have various kinds of resurgence. And many times it's based on the economy, it's based on attitudes of leadership, it's based on a lot of things. But I think it never really leaves, because America basically has a racist cast to it.
And you know, I went Friday to see Beloved, and that movie, it just took you back to the slavery days and what went on.
Right.
And that as we as African Americans can hold our head high and believe that we can do great things is really quite an accomplishment in itself.
Well, when you think in terms of it, and I've had to come to grips with this myself, when you come in to the terms that we've only been out of slavery for about 130 plus years. The Civil Rights Amendment to the Constitution is only about 30 years old. I mean, the, fair housing and all that. And we've done some phenomenal things. But yet and still, we're still businessmen, doctors, lawyers, television personalities, you name it. We've done a phenomenal job with the limited amount of resources and the limited amount of time that we've had. I know we're hard on each other a lot of the time, but when you think about it, I don't think no other group on earth has risen as fast and has had such stick-to-itness and continually moved forward under the greatest obstacles you could think of. I mean, you know, racism and bigotry is probably the single worst thing can be put on any human being. But yet and still, we're still moving forward in this nation, and I think it's hard for anybody to dispute that African Americans have strong fortitude, good work ethic, and are hard-working people. I mean, we've done it.
We've proved it.
We've proved it under all kinds of odds.
Adversity.
That's right.
I want to talk with you about the work that's going on in West Dayton on the Wright Dunbar neighborhoods. What do you think about that? I
think it's great. You know, it's unfortunate that it's taken as long as it has, because it's been just about 30 years since the riots of the late 60s, when much of that area almost came to a screeching halt. I mean, many of those buildings along 3rd Street and 5th Street have been boarded up for over 30 years. And it's good that they're making a resurgence. I just hope that when the smoke clears, that the people, the beneficiaries, will be the people who should be the beneficiaries. You know, basically, as simple as that. I hope that those who deserve the better opportunity for nice housing and nice, clean streets will be the beneficiaries.
You know, on that stretch there, on the West 3rd Street stretch, a lot of businesses are coming in there now, and would you possibly consider that as a possible future home for Dayton Weekly?
We have talked to some people at the priority board, and I know WDTN radio is moving down on 3rd, and I understand some other businesses are moving down there. We're not closing the option because, you know, I love the community. It's where I was raised and have spent the majority of my adult life, business life, and it would not be something that I would be closed-minded. We've been downtown for since 1977, if I'm not mistaken, which has been a little over 20 years. And downtown is nice, but the product we sell is a newspaper primarily, and I think it might be something we would want to look at because it would bring us closer to the people we serve.
And you're currently downtown.
We're downtown at 4th and Main in the Center City building, 15 East 4th, Suite 601, in the Center City building. We've been there since 1977.
Tell me, is it more difficult for a weekly newspaper to exist than a daily?
Well, you know, a newspaper is a tough business anywhere you go. And, of course, it's all based on advertising, of course. In this market, there are about 15 or 20 newspapers, different newspapers, because every hamlet has a newspaper. Kettering has a newspaper, Tip City has a newspaper, you know, right on down, Trotwood has a newspaper. So you're in competition with all the other newspapers in this market, and the majority of them are owned by one organization. So it's a difficult proposition, but we've been very, very fortunate over the last 5 years, and that we've been able to keep things going, and the paper's moving, it's growing, we're gaining support every day. Not at the pace that we'd like to go into, but we're doing well, and we're very pleased and thankful that we're doing as well as we are.
What would be the goal for the newspaper, say, in 5 years from now?
One of our goals right now, and we're exploring it right now, we would like to be in not only Dayton, but look at Springfield and Middletown and some of the other areas that have fairly reasonable sized African American population. Springfield is a growing city. There are about 30,000 African Americans in that community. There are a lot of things happening in Springfield all the time, good and bad. Middletown has a reasonable sized population, and we feel that these are markets worth exploring. So we're looking now, doing some research and talking to some community leaders, and hopefully within the next 2 to 3 years we may have an addition in those markets.
Okay, and lastly, we're not too far from a new year coming up in about a couple of months. Do you have any goals for the New Year's personally, or goals or resolutions? What would you like to see happen in the city of Dayton?
Well, you know, I hope that our leadership, we're a few days away from election. I'm not sure if this program will be shown before or after the election, but I hope that we can continually move forward with our leadership. I hope the economy will continue to do well. We've seen a pretty good economy over the last few years, regardless of what they're saying in Washington. The economy has been very good for business and for housing starts and a lot of other things. So hopefully 1999, which is the last year of this century, hopefully we can go out with a bang. I mean, I hope everything will go well next year. I hope it will.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much, Bill. It's a pleasure. It's always good to see you.
Thank you. And we've got a box of extra price fine chocolates for you.
Man, my wife will enjoy that.
It's Dayton's best.
Okay, thank you.
There's more to come on the William Pace Show. Stay with us.
To write to the William Pace Show, write to P.O. Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. If your letter is chosen to be read on the air, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show.
Celebrate your birthday on the William Pace Show. Send your name, birth date, and photograph to the William Pace Show, Post Office Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.